Alright, let's play e4 to mix it up. We've been playing mostly d4, but we'll go e4. Alright, I'll do something very normal again. I'm just gonna play knight f3. It might be a while before when I go e4 somebody plays the Sicilian, so I do feel like at this elo range people are going to play the Roy Lopez, which is not, it just does not happen at 2000 plus as much for me. I feel like a lot of people they play c5 on or after like 2000. Okay, they're trying to attack this. Many moves. I could go there. A lot of people would consider taking this, but it is not the best move here, I don't think. It is still probably book move, but I like to just go like this or like this. I'm going to develop a knight. Thank you for following, Lost E. Play the Grunfeld? The Grunfeld? So I know it's annoying sometimes to deal with this, because they usually push, and the idea is like sometimes you might miss this and then they end up taking the bishop. Oh, no, it doesn't work there. Sorry, what am I talking about? I'm getting my lines. No. I can't remember. Anyway. One thing I usually play when they do this, they try to be all tricky, I just move the bishop back. It's not, by the way, I don't think it's the best move. It is probably better just to learn this, but I'll move this back. The idea here is for people not to end up doing too many complicated things and just develop and not blunder. In this case, they take the knight. I think they should have taken the bishop. I will take back with the bishop, and now this is fine. Okay, they're not actually winning this pawn if this happens. I could even do this and allow them to trade. I'm gonna castle. How are you, Lost E? Okay, I think they assuming because I'm got double pawns that it's gonna be better for them. However, in this case, after I take back with the B pawn, and usually you want to capture towards the center. After B takes C3, and then at some stage D3, or potentially even D4, this is gonna be better for me. And because I captured the knight, not the bishop, sometimes in these structures, when there's like a knight here and a bishop can come out this way, sometimes it can be annoying for them to pin the knight with a bishop on G4, but that's not actually possible here now because I have a bishop on F3. So this is like an improved version for me, I think. I could develop. So in a position like this, I should just say, like, might be looking at these and saying, oh no, my pawn structure is so ugly. But there's a lot of pros to it as well. One thing here that's a pro about having captured with the B pawn is this is immediately giving me a tempo to do this. Do I want to do this right away? Maybe, maybe not. They're probably just going to go D6. So maybe I start with something like D4. If E takes D4, C takes D4, my pawn structure will no longer be doubled. And then in that case, if this pawn is not there at some stage, yeah, then maybe I go there. I think I will start with D4. We'll see. Oh, no worries, Lost E. Well, I'll just say, if you want, so I've only just started uploading some of them. Oh, so they're actually immediately losing peace. I will just quickly do this. I've only added 2 videos so far, but if you go to YouTube's, yeah, because I've only just kind of started looking at YouTube stuff. My first 2 games are on there then, and I will be slowly adding a game here and a game there, because I only just started this kind of slow run the other day. But yes, I started at 100 elos. A few games people resigned, and a few games people kind of disconnected or something, so I did get some like 100 elos, let's just say, for nothing. Okay, they might be, I'll just quickly say, they might be considering that this is really good for them, but they've actually missed that. First of all, I can take. And then after takes, it's even worse because I can take again. And then if they want to move their bishop back, I actually go back. So there's many ways to win this. Pretty much a lot of this wins. I think the whole idea of this was kind of missing the fact that even if all I got for this rook was actually this knight, and then somehow only this bishop, that's still better for white, because 2 pieces are actually better than a rook most of the time. So I will start with taking this. And then I assume they're going to take my rook. Then I will actually take their rook. And then if they try to save their bishop, no matter where they go, I will save my bishop. If they do not, I will just take their bishop. Okay. Be careful, of course, not to pre-move, because if I just randomly went like this, this is actually a checkmate. So definitely take the bishop. Now, why am I taking with the queen and not the king? Well, my king's in a nice snug spot. I have no intention of moving it. I'll just take with the queen and then maybe scooch over this way. Maybe come like this. Okay. Very close to losing for my opponent. Likely it's going to end with something like bishop h6. They'll move the rook, I assume. I could even consider f3 here. It's not the best move, but after f3, sorry, f3 or f4, I can maybe even go with like queen e2, queen g6, queen g3 and checkmate. So maybe I actually start like this. I think I'm actually going to start with a slightly different move. I'm going to start with this move, queen d3, because this is a bit more sketchy. Queen d3, basically my idea is queen d3, rook e8, bishop h6, and then some mate over here. Okay, they're preventing it a little bit, but at the same time, they are going to very likely lose this very shortly, or at least a queen. Just double check. Bishop h6. They're going to want to save their rook, most likely. Queen g3 will lead to the loss of a queen to prevent a checkmate. So queen g3. They are going to get mated if they do not block with the queen. So I will then simply take the queen. And then there's no... Okay, so I think they missed it, but either way, this will be a checkmate. I could even do this one too. I could, you know, when you have mate in 1, look for a mate in like 3, but no, I think we'll just give a checkmate. And then I will eat some of this bagel and then have my ice cream. Right, so let's take a look. Lost E, by the way, feel free to add me as well on my normal chess account too, because when I'm not doing the slow run, I'm happy to also help you with your games. So that is no problem. All right, let's see what happened in the opening. Had they taken the bishop, this wouldn't have been, I believe, as easy for me, because the bishop is definitely more powerful than the knight in a lot of these positions. And in general, you want to keep a bishop if you can. So this, even though this was theory, this book moves, still once again, just trying to develop pieces and not push pawns so much in the opening. Whereas sometimes I play this, you know, when I'm on my main account, not the slow run account, I'm just trying to prove just pushing pieces, don't blunder, you'll at least get over 1,000 most likely. And they're going for these theoretical lines. What am I going to do? I'm just going to move back. I do think you can actually get away with taking this or this. But I did not feel like going into that. This one maybe not as straightforward actually after queen e7. Yeah, I didn't want to deal with any of this. Just simply move it back. And if they want to take, you know, maybe it's a little bit better for black. At least than the alternative, but for whatever reason they chose to take my knight instead and leaving me with the bishop pair. I felt totally fine. Decided just to castle. And here, this is a very, very common mistake. People kind of just snatching a knight for a bishop for no reason. Bishop is almost always going to be stronger. You really don't want to give this up for no reason here. In fact, if we think about the final position, the checkmate kind of only was so easy for me to produce because of the fact they had nothing kind of protecting the dark squares around the king. So they're actually getting rid of one of the main defenders of the dark squares right now, and there's just no reason to do it. Some of these openings, you take on c3, and then you can collect the pawn on e4, but it doesn't actually work here because I have the bishop here. So maybe they got some things mixed up. But yeah, here I just capture towards the center, and then if I really want to, I can even just go d3. I didn't have to go d4. So the computer's saying I should have gone d3, but anyway, everything felt pretty winning here. So I'm getting this bagel crumbs everywhere. Ice cream hopefully is not melted yet. I'll grab that in a sec too. So I'm gonna have to vacuum. Alright. We got our snacks and then we attack. That is why we snack for attack. Okay. In a position like this, how do I see that this is completely winning, by the way? And how do I spot a tactic like this? Thank you, Lost. Thank you. Here I'm obviously looking at the fact that I am the only one with 2 central pawns right now. Or 2 pawns controlling the center. And usually when there's a pawn on e4 and there's a knight on f6, it's always useful seeing what happens if you push the pawn and attack it. Because sometimes the knight doesn't have squares, sometimes the knight is forced back to e8, sometimes the knight can jump to d5. You know, maybe it's a little bit stronger if you push the pawn in that case when you have a pawn on c4. In this case, they left me with the bishop, so I'm automatically controlling this diagonal. So as soon as they went b6, it kind of, to me, was very quick to see the fact that after they go b6, this is already a weakened diagonal. At the very worst case scenario, it's preventing the knight from jumping that way. So I'm winning something. Someone named For My Guy. What's up? Thank you for following. Yeah, so here it's unfortunately just losing at least a piece. They went bishop a6, but that doesn't actually help because I can take the knight like I did, take the rook like I did, and then take the bishop afterwards. How are you, man? Hope you're doing well. But like I said, don't pre-move anything thinking, oh, you can get some sneaky checkmate. This is fine, but if for some reason they go like this, and then I think to myself, oh, I'm going to go this way and quickly try to checkmate him this way and be all cheeky, this is a checkmate for them. So just in a winning position, when it's on your opponent to win, just play the winning move, which in most of the time is just anything. So I don't need to complicate it and say I don't want them to win the pawn. No, just take the bishop. No point risking anything. I'm up 3.7 eval apparently. It's just super winning. Yes, they'll take this, and guess what? I can just go like this. I can bring this bishop out this way. You know, so many things. But just play solid and safe, and actually just recognize that everything's just hanging, and we're all gravy. No need to stress. Take the materials, simplify. And here, just visually speaking, because they got rid of the dark square bishop, this is just going to be brutal, and that was what happened in the game. Just straight up brutal. The only move to not lose on the spot, still loses on the spot kind of, but yes, just blocking with the queen, otherwise there's a checkmate. The king can't go this way, so it can't go this way, and they went this way, which was a checkmate in one. Here, just take. And then if they for some reason do anything else, like let's just say they go like this, it's just going to be a checkmate anyway.